Good evening once again. Welcome all of you to Digital Z Hub. My name is Eguero Prosper, and by the grace of God, I'm going to be your tutor on this program, Data Analytics. I would also like others to introduce themselves, starting with Mr. Isaias, according to the name I'm seeing here. Please, can you unmute and tell us your name, where you are joining from?
Hello, my name is Okechukwu Ezeashi. I'm joining from Birmingham, UK.
You're welcome.
Yo.
So let me go to Mr. Ehens. Please, can you also unmute yourself? Tell us your name and where you are joining from.
My name is Ian Sekin Collins. I'm joining from Ghana.
Right, you are welcome. Come to Digital Z Hub. Okay, so let me quickly go to Mr. Ambrose Osadebe. Please, can you unmute and tell us your name, where you are also joining from?
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
I'm Ambrose. I'm here in Bristol, United Kingdom.
You're welcome, sir. All right, so I must sincerely welcome every one of you at Digital Z Hub. We appreciate you for choosing us as a trusted online platform for any digital skills. All right, so without taking much of our time, I'll then introduce the program we are all in for tonight. Just before I introduce the program, I want to give some important information. I believe I must have added every one of us to the same group. And I have also specified that this data analytics class will be holding every Tuesday and Thursday between the hour of 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. So please let us take note of that. Let's schedule ourselves in a way that we can join promptly the way you guys join exactly the time. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's quickly start with introduction to data analysis. Introduction to data analysis. Introduction to data analysis. Now, I want to believe before we register for this program, we must have made some research to have informed us on what this program is all about. So perhaps you have not made any research, no problem. I'm going to take us the introduction where we shall know what this program is all about, how you can actually leverage on this program as a data analyst and be able to earn a living or make some money. Okay, so we start with the definition of data analysis. So what is data analysis? Let's break it down. Let's start with the term data. Let's start with data. So data is, as we were taught from even our secondary school, we are taught that data are raw facts. Data are raw facts that need to be processed before usage. But in this context, I don't want to go low to that level because this is an advanced training. So each time I mention data, I am talking about information. So that is how I want us to see it. So each time I mention data, I am talking about information. Okay? Uh, now that we understand what is data, let's quickly define it now. Data analytics. Data analytics. Data analytics is the process of extracting insight. So the key word there is insights. So I would like us to be taking note of some of these keywords, because understanding them will go a long way in understanding the core value of this program. So I mentioned what? Insights. So the word insights, okay, let me just conclude the definition. I'll take my time to simplify some of these keywords. So I said data analytics is the process of extracting. So I want you to underline the word extracting. Insight should also be underlined, and patterns. Underline patterns. From data to inform business decision. From data to inform business decision. Okay, so I believe we all got that definition right. So let me just take it again. I said data analytics is the process of extracting insights and patterns from data to inform business decision. I believe we all got it. Can somebody unmute to respond to that question? Are we good?
Yeah. Bravo.
All right. All right.
Process of extracting insight and patterns from data to
Good.
inform business decisions.
Exactly. Now, I want to quickly explain the first term in that definition, process. Process. So which means that as data analysts that we want to become, or that we are, our job is to be given company data. And then we should be able to reprocess such given data for some reasons. So when you are given data as a data analyst, what exactly do you look out for in that data? What are you expected to process out from that data? Now, we cannot take away informed decision making, or simply the term decision making. Now, we need to see data as the company current performance or status and their past what? Performance. So when we are given data as analysts, we are expected to reprocess that data because it has been processed to some extent before it was handed over to you. So once it gets to you, you have the technical skills. That is why you are in this program, to learn the technicality, the technical skill, how to deploy different techniques, functions, application to be able to derive what? Actionable insight that can influence smart decision making. So that is one thing we must understand. So we analyze data in order for us to identify trend, pattern, and correlation. Now, when we say trend, for example, if a company gives you a collected data that must have captured the performance of, let's say, two variables. Let's say the data has captured the sales of laptop, and the same data has also captured the sales of mobile phone, and the company wants to reinvest certain portion of their capital. So between these two products, they want to know, let's say they have 1 billion to reinvest. on these two products. So you as a data analyst, based on the past behavior of the sales on these two products, you should be able to guide them or bring out some insight that could guide them in making the right decision. So we are the best individuals or professional to work in policy formulation department in a company, because people who formulate policies or business managers, they manage business or they make decisions based on what the statistics of their data says at that particular time. So we are like the counselor. So a company that actually wants to invest accurately cannot do without having a data analyst in their team, because the role of such a person is to help them to be deriving insights. So I want to quickly break down some of those terms that I asked you to underline. I want to start with the word insight. The word insight. An insight is a deep understanding. Like us to be taking notes. An insight is a deep understanding or realization about a particular situation. Because as I proceed with this training, you will often hear me using these terms, and that is the reason why I want to settle them. So each time I use the word insight, what does that mean? It means a deep understanding or realization about a particular situation. So let's simplify this way. The situation here can be your sales events or inventory. It can be your expenses. It can be your stock inventory. Okay, so your deep understanding or realization about, in this context now, about your sales inventory, for you to be able to think critically in that data, that is only when you can derive insight. So this insight is what the owner of the data that hires you does not know how to derive from data. So we as data analysts, we are trained to deploy different tools, which we are going to mention later as we continue with the class. All right, so what I'm trying to do now is for us to understand. Now, just to conclude that definition of insight, let me take it one more time. I said an insight is a deep understanding. An insight is a deep understanding or realization about a particular situation, comma, person, comma, or phenomenon. Okay, so just to add to it, note, it is a piece of knowledge or awareness that helps you understand the underlying dynamics. Let me take it again. It is a piece of knowledge or awareness that helps you understand the underlying dynamics. Okay, so I think the first paragraph has explained what insight is to us. Now that we understand what data analytics is involved, let's quickly discuss some of the, let me put it this way. Remember, I stopped at data analytics is the process of extracting insight, which I just simplify now, and patterns. Patterns pattern here in case you want to write it down. Pattern. Let's look at pattern because I want to make sure that we understand these keywords. What do we mean by patterns in data analysis? When they say a data analyst should be able to identify patterns, what does that mean? Pattern refer to, so I'm going to define it in different perspective. Pattern refers to a repeated or recurring structure, design, or sequence. Pattern can be defined as a repeated or recurring structure, design, or sequence. Pattern can also refer to as a consistent, that is the keyword, a consistent or predictable arrangement of an element. Pattern can be seen as a consistent or predictable arrangement of elements. Finally, pattern can be defined as a model or template used to create similar things. Pattern can be referred to as a model or templates used to create similar things. All right, so remember that we are deducing all these terms from the definition of data analysis. So these are key terms we must understand. All right, now just to complete that definition, I said data analysis is the process of extracting insights and patterns from data to inform business decisions, solve problem, or understand phenomena. So let's look at what entails. You write subheading. Data analysis involve the following. Write it that way. Data analysis involves the following. Number one, identify trend and patterns. Identify trend and pattern. Identify trend and pattern. Number two, answer question. These are the things that are involved because as we proceed, you will see us saying drafts analysis question. So as you are venturing into the field of data analytics or data science, you need to know that it involves, number one, identify trend and pattern, answer questions. So you should be able to look at data set and be able to answer questions. And the good thing about these questions is that these are constructive questions that will lead to derivation of this insight that we just talked about. So the first thing is your ability to draft very active question eventually will lead you towards having quality insights or drawing quality insights from the given data. So it's a skill set you must have. So when you are given data, this is how I put it to students. Very simple once you break it down this way. Now, you need to learn how to reason like the CEO. You need to also learn how to reason like the managers. Now, how does CEOs reason? For example, if you own a company, your reasoning is how you generate more profits, how you break more evil, right? How can you record progress? These are CEO reasoning pattern. These are manager reasoning pattern. They always work with targets. All right. Now, based on that, they need to carry out certain research to know their competitors. They must learn how to change their policies once it's not working part time. So you reason like them, and then you come back to your own position as a data analyst, okay, so that you'll be able to see their end. So when you are given a data to analyze, it means that you are drawing this insight for a decision maker, which are the CEO or the manager. So if you do not learn to reason like them, if you do not learn to put yourself in their shoe, it will be difficult for you to look at data and know what exactly is expected of you. So that is why once you are given data, the next thing you do is that, okay, supposing I'm the owner of this business that generated this data, what will I want to know from this data for me to be guided in terms of making informed or smart decision? So with that reasoning, you will hit the nail on the head. So know that data analysis involve also answering of what? Question. It involves answering of question. Now, it also involves predicting. It also involves predicting of outcome. Okay? So you are expected to be able to predict. It's part of it. Because this is how it works. Every organization want to hire a data analyst who can tell them they are yesterday, who can tell them they are today, and who can use yesterday and today to tell them tomorrow. This is the kind of analysts they are looking for in the current dispensation. Not just people who can just tell them that, yesterday you did not do well. How are we doing today? What are the possibility of us improving on those areas that you have identified one or two lapses? All these are the insights that you draw from the data. All right. So that is why number four, data analysis involve informed decisions. It involves informed decisions. And I hope you are following. Please let me hear from at least one person.
Yes.
All right. So I have mentioned 4 things that you cannot do without if you are engaged tomorrow as a data analyst. You cannot do without identifying trend and pattern. They are your priority. So if they give you data and at the end of the day, you reprocess the data and then you are not able to identify trend, you have not done anything, sir. They give you a data set, you reprocess it, at the end of the day, you cannot even identify the pattern, how things changes within the data, whether positive or negative. If you cannot factor that out from the data, you have not started. So why I am taking my time to break down all this is for us to know our responsibility as data analysts. And it's very expensive, like I always tell students, for you to practice this field, have done. You must be a professional because it's like the company will be investing based on your report. Just imagine you did not take quality time. You just do a kind of shallow work, and then a company is now following that, that insight that you have derived from the data. At the end of the day, they invest billions of naira and nothing comes out of it because your predictions are wrong. You did not take time to really look at the data, or you do not even have the expertise. So it's very dangerous that you are leading a company to invest their money and you do not know what you are doing. So you must learn it in a way that you are good at it. All right. So that brings us to the end of highlighting what data analytics involved. Now, I want to quickly talk about some of the key components of data analytics. Subheading, key components. of data analytics. When we say key component here, we want to talk about what actually data analytics is made up of. That is what we want to talk about, key components. Key components. Right? So let's quickly discuss that. Key components of data analytics. Let's quickly discuss that. What are the key components? So I just want to ensure that we have very good foundation today. Number one, the first key component is data collection. That is number one key component. Data collection. So what is data collection? Data collection simply means gathering data from various sources. Is your responsibility. But luckily, if you are working for a company, the company must have assembled their data. So as you are coming in, they hand over the data. Okay, so one of the key components of data analytics is what? Gathering data from different what? Sources. I believe we got that. Number two key component is data cleaning. Data cleaning and pre-processing. Data cleaning and pre-processing. Data cleaning and pre-processing. This is the second component. Now, what do we mean by data cleaning? Data cleaning simply means perfecting any given data to ensure the absence of errors. Perfecting any given data to ensure the absence of what? Error. Now, analyzing erroneous data has huge implication in this field, because erroneous data will eventually lead to what? Erroneous what? Statistics, which is very, very dangerous. So you end up, that's why you see a lot of people forecasting wrongly, because as they were given data, they did not take time to clean it up. It's a department in this field. That is the work of some persons. Even at the end of training you, you might find out that your strength is more on data cleaning. Then you key into it. These are people that work on the data before handing it over to what? To the data what? Analyst. Because once it gets to the analyst hand, the analyst expects, if there is a mechanism put in place for cleaning before it gets to him, expect that whatever that gets to him or her is the perfect data that he could just start his or her analysis on. But we are going to learn across all the tools that we are going to learn in this program. We are going to learn different techniques on how to use those tools to clean up our data. Because you don't know where you find yourself. You may not be in a company where they have a division of labor. They might want you to do everything. That is, once you are given data, you do your cleaning by yourself, and then you do your analysis. So it is a process that you must go through, even though you might not be doing that, depending on where you find yourself. All right, so just to explain it in a proper context, data cleaning and pre-processing is the process of ensuring that data quality and preparing it for analysis. I hope someone is taking note of that. Come again. Data cleaning and pre-processing, ensuring, or I say what? It ensure data quality and preparing it for analysis. It ensure data quality and preparing it for analysis. So it's a step that must come before what? Analysis. Just like you collect, you must have access to data before you clean and before you analyze. I hope we are following. All right. All right, so let's quickly look at the third component. The third component is data visualization. Data visualization. You see all these components that I'm outlining, you cannot escape them in this field. What do we mean by data visualization? Data visualization means presenting findings. It means presenting findings in a clear and meaningful way. Presenting your findings in a clear and meaningful way. That is called what? Visualization. That is why when you go for some interview, they will ask you which visualization tool or how do you visualize your findings. Your findings, in this case, they are your outcome, the insights. How do you present them? Because presentation of your insights, your report, is part of it. You can have good skills, but you lack presentation skills. You need to improve on it. Your ability to use the right model to present your findings will make the audience or the stakeholder to understand what exactly you have been able to derive from the data. It's very important. I hope someone is following. Now, you are a technical person. Your reports must be presented in a non-technical form. Please note it down. You cannot do your working and then you are presenting it to your own standard. You must know how to simplify. You must know how to use general terms to interpret your findings. It's part of what you must learn to do as data analyst. Then the fifth one, before we go to the next topic, is interpretation and decision making. Interpretation and decision making is part of it. Interpretation and decision making.
I think it's the fourth one.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Okay. I've not mentioned. This should be the fourth one. That means I still have one more. Don't worry. So interpretation and decisions making or decision making. Interpretation or decision making. What does it mean? Drawing conclusion. This is where I'm driving to. Drawing conclusion and informing action. That is what interpretation and decision making. Drawing conclusion and informing action, action that are informed, action that are current, that align with the reality. You see this very last one? That is what the stakeholder wants to see. Forget about all your working, whatever. If at the end of the day, you cannot interpret your analysis, your outcome, then it means no sense to the stakeholders. You have to draw conclusion. For example, now, if you answer 10 analysis questions, and each of these 10 questions that you answer have led to deriving some insight, you must know how to summarize all the insight that will form your conclusions. And your conclusion is made up of two things: observations and recommendation, where is necessary. There is no analysis you will perform that you will not come out with observation. But there are analyses you will perform that will not have recommendation. I believe somebody got that. Why did I say so? Every time, anytime you analyze data, you are looking for something. That which you are able to see is the observation. So you write your report by saying that after analyzing the data, these are my findings. These are my observations. Just like you are opening the eyes of the company to see what they could not see prior consulting you. So now they will not be informed. Oh, so this is the current performance of this product. Oh, we don't know all this why. All this while, all they are doing is they are just selling. But after your analysis, you are able to tell them that product C or D is seriously underperforming. And these are some of the factors that could have contributed to it underperforming. You see? Now, what do you now recommend? On those variables or products that are not doing well, you must look into the data, not assumption. You say it based on what is happening within the data. You must find a way of identifying some of those things that could have caused some of those products not doing well. So you are presenting them as recommendation. You are not like saying that is final. So you are presenting them like you are giving them an advice that if enough marketing was not done on this product, please, they should improve on it. Why? Because I noticed that Tuso City, more people purchase this product. That could be as a result of the market. In fact, there are times a data analyst, before he comes to conclusion, we ask some questions. We get data based from the marketing team. The marketing team data will tell you the area they visited, the number of ads they've run, and then on which product. So you will not measure it. Oh, no wonder this product is doing better because they ran about 5 different ads to different locations. Then you now look at it as, oh, there's a particular product that they've not really marketed very well. Then you now point that out. The reason why this is not doing well could be that the marketing is poor. So what the company, a reasonable company, will do is to go back to their drawing board, the head of that department, and tell the person to change some strategies. If you are going out 2 times, they can increase it. They can change their pattern in order to get result. But the question is that if not for the report of the data analyst, they will have continued the same way. So you see why we cannot be avoided. Every company needs us. Even after COVID-19, the whole world now discovered the importance of data. So, and I can tell you that even in the next 100 years, as far as the internet database continue to increase, now that we have cybersecurity, people are now learning skill to protect data on the internet that have instigated confidence in so many company individual now to trust the internet as a place where they can store their data. So which means that what? The internet is now collecting and storing more data than ever before. And in as much the internet continue to absorb this data, the service of a data analyst will always be needed. So the two programs, cybersecurity, data analysis, they are actually what? The top trending tech domain right now. And the reason is what I just gave to you now. Because now people have developed confidence that, oh, the internet is safer than before. All right. So I believe that is established. So the fifth one, before we look at, do anybody have question, please? Please, if you have question, you can interrupt me by using the reaction button. Use the reaction button if you have questions. So once I see it, or you kindly unmute yourself. Once I hear you saying something, I will pause. Okay, so the fifth one is data. This is supposed to be the fourth one. Sorry, the third one, data analysis. Data analysis. So what is data analysis all about as one of the components of this field? Data analysis is the process of applying statistical and analytical techniques to extract insights. Get it right? The process of applying statistical and analytical techniques to extract insights. In fact, that's actually what defines it all. So when you are asked who is a data analyst, now you know what and what is involved. That is why I have to quickly explain all this. Any question before I go to the next topic? Do we have question? If you have any, just kindly unmute yourself and say something.
The last one, data analysis. I didn't get that.
Okay, so the last one, which is data analysis, I said is the process of applying statistical and analytical techniques to extract insights. The process of applying statistical and analytical techniques to extract insights. I hope you got it now. Are you good? So just to find out if you are following, if you don't have any questions, so I'm going to call you by name. Please, when answering, if you don't mind, just kindly show your picture so that we can know who is talking. Mr. Isaias, how will you explain data cleaning? Let's be prompt about that. What is data cleaning, Mr. Isaias? Don't know if I'm pronouncing the name right. Please pardon me. You are muted. Kindly unmute yourself, sir.
Ezeashi.
Okay, all right.
Can you hear me well? Ezeashi Okechukwu.
I can hear you.
Okay. So as what you let us understand and sharing data, quality, and preparing for analysis
Good. Perfect. Then Mr. Ehens, how will you explain data collection? Mr. Ehens, how will you explain data collection?
Gathering relevant data from various sources.
Good. Perfect. Okay, so Mr. Ambrose, you tell us the difference between, in fact, just tell us what is data visualization. What is data visualization, Mr. Ambrose? What is data visualization?
Okay, thank you. Data visualization is that is after you have analyzed your data, the data you have collected. It is the process of presenting the data, your findings.
Good.
It's the process of presenting your findings in
Okay.
a clear and meaningful way.
Okay,
You
now.
went ahead to say that as a technician, your findings should not be presented as a technician. It must be presented in a very simpler way
Thank
for
you.
a common man to understand.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Let me check if I have. Okay, so I have Oyikosi, you joined late, so every other person introduce themselves. So if you can kindly introduce yourself and where you are joining this class from, and then you are going to tell us, just to know if you have been following, you are going to tell us what is data analysis. Before then, introduce yourself. Is it Oyikosi? Oyikosi, if you are here. Do we have Oyikosi here? Okay, so let me assume that
I don't think any other person is here.
Yeah. No, I have such a person, but it's like some persons can join.
I can see Onyikosi. Yeah.
Hello.
Onyikosi.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Okay, I'm Onyikosi. I'm Jenny from Nigeria.
Okay, so tell us, what do you understand by the word data analysis? If you have been following, what is data analysis?
Although I enter labor, data analysis is the process of inspecting or cleaning or transforming and modeling data to discover new information.
Okay, so
in order to draw.
Okay, what are you drawing from the well?
To draw conclusion.
Good.
And support decision making.
All right.
Decision making.
All right. Good. You have said it all. I think you were able to give us another definition entirely. That is good. Thank you very much. All right. So now let's quickly proceed. So like I've written here, I want us to quickly look at different types of data analysis, because at the end of the training, you must know where you belong. If you are serious and you are able to grab all the types, then you are a guru. Okay, so let me quickly walk us through various types of analysis you should be aware of. So number one is what we call descriptive analysis. Descriptive analysis. Okay, so make sure you pay attention, because I'm still coming back with questions. Descriptive analysis. So what is this type of analysis? Descriptive analysis means analyzing historical data to understand what happened. Descriptive analysis means analyzing historical data, right, to understand what happened. Now, when we say historical, remember where I started from. A company giving you their data to analyze. That is the track of their yesterday, which is history, the historical data. All right. Now, the process of you analyzing it in order for you to know what happened, because the data has been collected. And this data were collected during live events. It could be transaction. It could be during sales transaction. All right. So always know that descriptive analysis will always poses question like what happened? What happened? So any form of analysis that suggests what happened, that is under what? Descriptive analysis. A practical example is this. Let's say I have a variable A. This variable A can mean a product, let's say laptop. Variable B, this one can mean another product, let's say what? Phone. And then this is a category, historical data that has been collected over time, then given to me as a data analyst. All right. Now, at the end of my analysis, then I now have a graph that shows something like this. So this is the variable A graph. And then I have another graph that comes like this. This is variable B what? Graph. All right. So at the end of the day, there's a question you will answer as a data analyst where you come up with this kind of result. The company expects you to tell them what happened that this one, what happened? You see where we are going now. What happened that this one is or does not generate as much profit like this? So within the data, you need to study the behavior. So this is descriptive analysis, any form of analysis where you analyze historical data in order to understand what happened, falls under what? Descriptive analysis. This is one of the most used type, particularly when you are analyzing business data. Because one of the data that is most analyzed today is business data, followed by health care or this healthcare data. All right. Okay, so please just give me. All right. So like I was saying, I hope we are still here. So that is the first type. Okay, yeah. That is the first type of analysis. So we should bear that in mind. Now, the second type of analysis is what we call predictive.
Yeah. Excuse me.
Okay. Oh, yeah. You have questions, sir.
Yeah. I want to find out if it is because under this descriptive analytics,
Yeah.
you know, the data analyst will not be like in a case where histories are presented, maybe for a company that the marketers went out
Okay.
on a previous day for kind of marketing,
Yeah.
and they came up with data. In a situation where the data are not sufficient enough for the analyst to come up with informed decisions because he's not there, he's not outside with them.
Okay.
Can he come up to say that these data are not enough to either predict the future or make informed decisions of to be able to come up with what happened? Is it possible for such thing to happen when the analyst is not kind of furnished enough with enough data to make informed decision to bring out what transpired and what is supposed to be done rightly? I don't know if you get the
Yes,
question.
yes, I got you right. Now, yes, there are situations. I think when I was explaining the other time, I make reference to something of that nature. There are times you have to, the data given to you might not be enough. You have to ask for other information from other sources. Like when I make use of the marketing department, you need to get their database. Maybe they just give you the sales data. And meanwhile, the company has different data according to different departments. So if they give you just one department data, if you feel that the data is not rich enough, then you have the right to, to ask for other data, because from those data, you will not be able to pick one or two things to you to present your full insights. I don't know if I've answered your question, sir.
Yes, you have.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. So now let's quickly look at predictive analysis. Predictive analysis means using data to forecast what may happen. Using data to forecast what may happen. Right? So that is sorry, I need to just give me one. All right, so I was talking about the predictive analysis. I said is a process of using data to forecast what may happen. So you can see the question that is arising from this kind of analysis. When I was explaining the other time, I made mention that this is the kind of analysis that is required into the most companies are looking for people who will not just tell them what happened yesterday and what is currently happening. They are looking for somebody who can use their yesterday and today to tell them or to give them an idea of if everything is done properly as advised, where they will be in the nearest future. So that is predictive. Now, it is this predictive analysis that brought about the machine learning that you are hearing. I want to believe that some of us, we must have heard of machine learning. Machine learning is a senior program to this one. All right. So like I was explaining, machine learning is the senior brother to this one you are learning, but you can actually use this to predict, but your prediction is not going to be accurate because as human, you will not be able to really monitor the behavior of each value in a large data set. So what you can manage to do is to give like very close or close statistics by carefully looking at the key outcome. Then you will now be able to tell them that, okay, if this is in place, the next 5 years, this is where the company should be. But why the whole world today tend to believe the machine than human brain? Because sometimes our memory is influenced by the circumstances that is currently going on. So for example, now, if I am hungry and at the same time I am analyzing data, there's every possibility of me giving, not really focusing as expected. But the machine, you can train the machine. You can, remodel the data in a way that it can be passed into the machine model, and the machine will be able to predict exactly, because machine will not attach emotion. Machine will say it exactly the way it is.
So it doesn't mean that a data analyst cannot, perform a predictive analysis. You can, but you are depending on previous variable. So it is based on that statistics that you will now randomly conclude that this is what it could be. But if it is machine, it will be accurate. All right. So let's quickly look at the next one, which is called the prescriptive analysis. So we are still looking at different types of analysis. Prescriptive. Analysis. So what type of analysis it is? Prescriptive. Prescriptive means providing recommendations on what action to take. Providing recommendation on what action to take. Now, there is one that is usually called diagnostic analysis. And this one is the one that involve, how do I put it? Try to find out how it happened. Remember that the first one, descriptive, that one will always lead to questions like what happened. Then you will now look at how it happened. That is diagnostic. It's just like a doctor. When you visit there and you complain that you have headache, they will run diagnostic tests. In other words, they want to know how the symptom was developed. They want to know how chronic the symptom is. They want to know the level of it so that they will know the right drugs to administer to you. So there are times that when the other question, when after you have performed the descriptive analysis, which must have poses what happened, you now go deeper, trying to figure out what led to what happened. That is diagnostic what? Analysis. Before we get to what? To predictive. Now, the sequence is that most time you have to perform the descriptive analysis, the diagnostic analysis before you can actually predict. All right. So I believe I have done justice to the various types of what? Analysis. But let me also add this to it. This is where your knowledge comes in. Each of these types has different techniques, has different functions that are expected to be deployed by you to answer those questions. So one of the technique which is deployed or used for descriptive analysis is what led to exploratory analysis that you hear about. Is what led to data mining that we are hearing. I believe sometimes you hear data mining, data exploratory analysis. All these are techniques that are employed under what? Descriptive analysis. Please, I want to know if we are all following. Somebody should respond. Dr. Uzoma Valentin, welcome, though you joined late. I hope we are good with what I've explained so far. I want to quickly shift to the next topic. Do we have questions?
Yeah.
I don't know. Your line is breaking. The person that wants to ask questions, that's Mr. Ambrose. Line is a kind of breaking.
You are providing recommendation. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I wasn't
Can
hearing
you
you.
hear me now?
I can hear you now. I can hear you now. Go ahead, sir.
Oh, all right, all right. I said you were talking about recommendations on what action to
To take.
take, and you started talking about diagnostic
Yes,
analytics.
yes, yes. Yeah, I've supposed to have spoken about it before. That's why I have to quickly go back.
Is it the same thing, or can you come again with the diagnostic analytics you were talking about?
Yeah, the
Is it the
diagnostic.
same as prescriptive,
Okay.
or is diagnostic part of prescriptive? So diagnostic is part of prescriptive. Is that what you mean?
Okay, okay. Yeah, most time where the diagnostic analysis is mentioned, the prescriptive can be silent, but there is a thin line that differentiates them. Your prescriptive, you are prescribing action that need to be taken in order to what? To stop the either negative, let's say most time is to stop the negative what scenario. But diagnostic, you are taking time to understand why things happen the way they happen. Did you get it now, sir? You are trying to find out why things happen. Why the prescriptive, you must have already discovered why things happen, and you must have arrived at identifying some negative that you are now, trying to provide steps that need to be taken. I don't know if I'm able to attend to your question, sir.
Yeah. So it means you will have to, first of all,
I don't know whether it's my network or yours.
a diagnostic analysis before you can do the prescriptive analysis.
Yes,
Can
I
anyone
can
else
hear
see?
you.
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear
All
you.
right. So it means it's the network around
hear
you
you.
there.
Okay, yeah, I'm hearing you, just that your voice is breaking, but I don't know whether it's my end. If others can hear you 100%, it means that it's from my end. But I'm able to get what you are saying. Yes, from what you just explained, yes. You must perform the first three. You must perform, sorry, the 1, 2, then you can job predictive, but definitely you must perform descriptive, diagnostic before what? Prescriptive. Before you can, just like if others can hear me, I don't know if you can hear me. It's just like a medical sector. The doctor must run the tests before they can prescribe what? Drugs. I don't know if anybody can hear me. Please, if you can hear me, just on mute. Let me just find out if my audio is
I
good.
can hear you, sir.
Yeah, we
I
can hear
can
you.
hear you loud and clear. We can hear you very
Okay,
well.
that means it's from
I
okay.
can hear you, Len.
Good. All right, so that is it. So a good doctor should not prescribe drugs when he or she has not even diagnosed the person to know what exactly is wrong. That is where prescriptive analysis comes in. All right, so that is all about that. So quickly, let's quickly look at application of data analytics so that you know in what aspect can somebody learn this skill and apply it. In case you join this session without knowing or without having a plan, how are you going to use this skill that you have devoted your time to learn? So let's discuss some applications so that you know whether you actually make use of it. Applications of data analytics. Number one application of data analysis is business. Is what? Business intelligence. Business intelligence. That is number one, business intelligence. What does that mean? That is informing business decisions and strategy. That is informing business decision and strategy. That is why when I started, I use analogy, if you remember, that you have to reason like CEO. You must have CEO mentality. So if you are here, you are already a CEO. It's a huge plus to you to learn this tech skill, because you will now be able to go back to your business and begin to make informed decisions. So the era where you will just wake up and spend 1 billion without knowing why you are spending or allocating that fund to set or one product, that era should stop. We have to work with data. That is why if you look at developed country like US and whatever, if you go and research on how much they spend on information collection from different sectors, that is why they can be able to predict. They can tell you exactly the rate of unemployment, because that will help them to distribute their resources, and they will get what? Results. Unlike countries where they don't have data. All right. So one of the application is in business. So if you are a business person, you need a data analyst, if you are not, to be able to subsequently analyze your data, maybe on a weekly basis, monthly basis, so that the following months you can make right decision. So another area of data analytics is marketing. Marketing and customer insights. All right, marketing and customer insights. This one is very key. You know, so there are some businesses that do not even bother to know their customer behavior. They don't even know when they are satisfying their customer and when they are not. Have you not seen that when you enter some companies that actually want to hear from their customer to know whether the model they are using, the strategy they are using are working, to continue to improve or to change immediately before the damage is caused? You will see them, they will have a suggestion box. But when you get to a company where they don't have it, you know that that is a company that does not have feedback mechanism. And it's very wrong. But when you have data will always tell you. For example, let me just cite this example. A customer that when you analyze data last month, there is this particular customer that his own or her own record keep coming in. And the following month, you now discover that that customer number of transaction has dropped. So it quickly informed the business owner what could have happened. Could it be that that customer probably was not well attended to? So it will now lead to, reaching out to the customer, asking the person some questions, why they have not seen him or her for a while. So that is the marketing. Now, let me put it in proper context. Marketing and customer insights means understanding customer behavior and preferences. It's very important. So that is one thing that data analysis can help you to do in the area of marketing. Now, let's say if you want to perform maybe you want to run a digital marketing, which means that you are actually leveraging on digital channels. You want to run like Facebook ad, or you want to run YouTube ad. What informed you? What influences you to decide whether to run the ad on Facebook without first of all sitting down to know your targeted audience? So it is from the data that must have been analyzed that you will know, from the location where this particular customer came from, that will inform you that,
or from the purchase you had in the past will also tell you whether you have more female buying a particular product. So when you are running ad, they will ask you, Facebook will ask you, are you targeting female or you are targeting male? So if your analyst has presented to you and the report shows almost every time that the female patronize you most, then when you want to run the ad, you'll be guided in choosing the right audience. So that is the area of marketing. Then operation optimization is another area where you can apply data analysis. That is number 3. Operation optimization. And what does that mean? Improving efficiency and productivity. Improving efficiency and productivity. You see, I think everything I've explained is, wrapped into this. It is when you know the performance of your business that you can actually know the area to improve on. When you do not have feedback system, then definitely you will not be able to improve. You will not know which area to improve on. Now, another area where company goes through all this. There is no company that will not prioritize marketing. So it means that they need a data analyst so that when they want to run their ad, they know the area and the audience to target. Then the 4th one is risk management. Risk management. Risk management. All right. What does that mean? Identifying and mitigating potential risks. So data analysis will help you to identify risks and quickly mitigate them. So these are some of the application of what. Now I want to ask us, is there any giant business out there that you know? Or I know I have a lot of CEO here. Do you really apply these 4 items, or probably one of them? The answer will be yes. Do we have any question regarding to this before I go to the next topic? Any question? All right. So let me assume.
None for me.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for that quick response. Now that we understand some of the areas where your service or your services will be needed, that is why I am outlining all this. So you now see that you are the best candidate to work in any company admin department or the policy formulation department. Is people that have this reasoning that are meant to drive company. Now, let's quickly look at, so this is gradually taking us to some of the practical aspects. Let's look at data analysis tools. All right, data analysis tools. Now, remember I said that all those types of analysis that I mentioned, there are different tools or techniques that are involved. For example, for you to perform a descriptive analysis, you need to identify the best tool. And that is why you having knowledge of different tools, because each of these tools have their area of specialization. Some of them are good for just descriptive analysis, while some of them are good for visualization. Now, let's take the one after the other. The first one I want to explain, which is like the bedrock of all of them, is what? Excel. Excel. So Excel is a spreadsheet and data analysis what? Data analysis tool. Now, when we go into it properly, you will now begin to see why Excel is one of the two. Spreadsheet that I mentioned means what? It has a very large workspace. And that workspace does two things. One, it acts as a framework. Because a framework is an application platform or interface that allow you and I, as data analysts, to bring all our data components in one place. So before you analyze your data, there must be a platform that is holding it. So in Excel, the platform that holds data for us to speak to analyze, is called spreadsheet. At the same time, that same platform also acts as the library. So that is the reason why you see most of us find Excel more friendly, because it's providing you a user-friendly interface, because only the interface, the spreadsheet is offering you a framework. At the same time, is also offering you a library. A library is a place where set of functions are stored. That is why you can just type what? Sum, and then it pops up from Excel, which means that what? You are not programming that sum for the first time. That sum has been programmed in that Excel. You are only invoking it from the library, from the storage. And apart from being just spreadsheets, it has over 400 functions built in it. That is why you will see some material will tell you Excel is a powerful spreadsheet. What makes it powerful? Because of what? The function library it carries. And a single sheet of it. This is another reason why it's recommended for all to an extent. Because every data analyst needs a platform that can hold at least reasonable data. For example, if a company gives you 100, let's say 10,000 or 100,000 data volume to analyze, you ask yourself, can Excel process up to 100,000? So we need to know all this, because a single Excel sheet can actually process up to 1,048,576. So you can see that it's very large. You can see that it's very large. All right, so like I was saying, now let's quickly look at the next tool. So I've highlighted why Excel is one of the tool that you need to learn. The next one is Python. Python or R. I believe you must have heard of it. Python or what? R. So these two languages are, core programming languages, particularly Python. And they are the most recommended. In fact, they are the leading machine learning or data science language. They are pure programming language. Excel is not a programming language.
Excel is an application. That is why you see some of us, we are always very excited when we are on Excel. Once we get to programming, some of us will start, drawing back because some of us don't like hard things. How can you be in this field and you are not a critical thinker? One of the characteristics of a data analyst is that from the definition, you must be able to think deep. You must think beyond the ordinary person when it comes to data. So that is why critical thinking is a major factor. If you are going to be solving problems in this field, you must be a critical thinker. And one of the tech skill that expands or that increases someone's problem-solving ability is programming. If you come across any programmer, you will notice that they don't take, they are very resilient. They are very committed. They don't run easily. If you have written a program, you see at times you write a program and then you run it and then you get error. You stay true. You look for where is the problem. You debug until you are able to to conquer the challenge. And then you see the kind of excitement that you have when you are able to solve a problem of 3 days, 1 week, 1 month. So sometimes it generates headache, this particular field. You are trying to, particularly when you are working for a company, pressure will come on you. They can tell you that, okay, you have to present your report, within the next few hours. And they give you a data of over 1 million values. So you must know how to manage pressure. That is what I'm driving to. So we have identified 3 languages, but today it seems Python is taking over. And the reason is simple. The reason is that Python has large library, customized almost for every sector. In web development, it has a framework called the Django. In data analytics, it has different library, pandas, NumPy, scikit-learn, and the rest of them. So it has so many. It's very rich when it comes to library. That is why it's taking over. R is most used for just statistical analysis. But R has been in existence before Python. Though if you know R, you will see that R is also very, sweet because it also has what we call library in Python. In R, they are called packages. The code syntax are alike. That is why most times they will tell you if somebody send the R script to you, it's almost the same as Python. Now, the third one is SQL. And that means querying and managing database. The SQL stands for Structured Query Language. The language, the database language, which we use in querying our data. In other words, the word query means a language that you use to write statement that can be used to task the program to do something for you. And then the fourth one is data visualization. Data visualization. That's the third one, data visualization. So what is data visualization? Under data visualization, that is where you have Tableau. That is where you have Tableau, and that is where you have Power BI. All right? That is where you have D3 and more. So that is why you see that I carefully assemble the ones I teach because I look at what is common out there. Even outside these two that I've mentioned, we have a SPSS. We have some other old tools for analyzing data, but we're talking about what is trending today. So after learning all this, you must have knowledge of at least one of the visualization tool. And I choose to use Power BI. So that is why the program you enroll for here are 1 and 2, then 3. Then under data visualization, I am going to teach us what? Power BI. And I have my own reasons. All right? Any questions so far? Any question? Any question? Please, if you have any question, feel free to ask. Okay, I have message here. Okay, somebody say we have lost network. Okay, it's okay. I think that was a previous.
Yeah. That was long ago. Thank you very much. Can a company choose to like make use of one of these tools? Maybe a company can come now. Like in projects, we'll have companies that will say, okay, we'll use for our project management tools, we can use Primavera PCs to plan our project, or we can just use Excel. These are tools that are unique to companies.
Yeah.
Can a company either choose for visualization to either use a Power BI or Tableau, or is it you as an employee that comes with a particular tool
Well,
that you use to analyze your data?
now this is how I'm going to answer the question. Now, you see, when they are advertising, let me put it this way. There are two, let me use a straight scenario. If you are a businessman, okay, as a serviceman, let me use that word, as a serviceman or as a service expert, there are two customers or clients you are expected to see out there. One, they are the one that knows what they are hiring you for. Those kind of company that knows why they are bringing you in, they will insist on the tool to use. I don't know if you are getting me, Mr. Ambrose.
Yes, I am.
They will insist on because the system has been in place and they have advertised for what they know so that they can evaluate your services. They might want to mandate you. If there's a system in place that will compel you to use Excel, you have no choice. And that is the reason why you are learning at least. That is the reason why I picked this for. Because from research, I found out that these four, Excel, Python, SQL, Power BI, they are the most used. There are a lot of them out there that you can spend time learning. Every company have their objective. Then that kind of company that does not know what they want, you are coming in as an expert to establish the structure. You have the privilege of choosing what you know best. Why even such company that have a system in place can give you the flexibility to suggest if they are willing to look at it from another perspective. There are some that will say, okay, as they are bringing in this employee, if they find out that in your resume you specify something that they don't have, they can take advantage of having you to implement it. But why some will be very strict that accepts that they are own, nothing else. So I don't know if I'm able to answer your question.
Yes, you have. Thank you
All right.
very much.
All right. Any other question? Because we are rounding up now. I will start Excel in the next class. So I want to make sure that every one of you should have Excel installed in your laptop, because I know there could be some of us here that do not have Excel installed. So I want to make sure that everybody have it before the next class. So what I actually plan is what I've covered now for us to really know what the field is. It's not just now from what I've explained now, you discover that it's not your professionalism with Excel that actually make you data analyst. It's not because you know Excel. There are people that know Excel not for data analysis. It's a concept, it's a mindset, and that is what I am trying to achieve, or I've tried to achieve in this session, to make sure that, okay, as we are leaving this session now, we now know how a data analyst is wired to reason. You are a goal getter. You are a critical thinker. You are somebody who provides solution through data. That is the key takeaway that I want us to achieve tonight. Do you still have question, Dr. Uzoma? Please, you joined late. Kindly tell us where you are joining from, your name, where you are joining from. Let others know you as well. That is if he's here. If he's not here,
The
question.
network is breaking.
Okay. Can someone else hear me, please? Let me confirm if it is from my end. Can you hear me? Hello? I need someone else to speak, if you can hear me, to know if the network breaking is from my end. Can you hear? Can you hear me, please? I think I should be good now.
Yeah. We can hear you now.
So somebody was asking, any question, please? Any
Better
question?
now.
Okay, any question, please? We are rounding up now. Any question? Any question?
Good evening, Mr. Prosper.
Yeah, good evening. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I just wanted to make a little contribution as regards to these tools
Okay.
based on the little experience I've gathered. I think the courses or the tools you've selected are perfect for your students because from market survey, Excel, Python, SQL, and this Power BI are the most requested or required tools in the market
Yeah.
in the UK or wherever in the US. And one good thing about this programming language in the area of Python and Excel, R is that once you understand Python, you also understand Tableau. And that is why you see most of the adverts,
Yeah.
they'll tell you most 80% of the companies will mention Power BI.
Yeah.
Then the few ones that will mention Tableau may even say Tableau or Power BI.
Power BI, yes, because they have
Yeah, so that is how it
There's
comes.
no
Yes.
one
Even
of
when it comes to the programming languages too, they will mention Python. But SQL is quite essential because I think I am beginning to see the reason that the query, most of their data are stored in their database. So
database.
with SQL, you can query it and
Query the data directly from the
so
data.
SQL is very, very essential. Then Python follows.
Yeah.
But some of them who may mention R, we also mention Python or R.
Or R.
So either of them. So that is how it goes. So I think your selection is
Thank you.
perfect for this training.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much.
All right. Any other contribution? We are rounding up. Any other contribution? We are rounding up. So like I said, we should all have Excel before the next class. And please, if you are installing Excel, I would advise you install. If you have 365, fine. If you are using Excel, please make sure that the version is above 2019. Above 2019, because there is a function we'll get to that we insist we need to get a particular version. Any question, please? There's no question, then it is safe to end the session. And then, like I said when I started, This training holds Tuesday and Thursday. So our next meeting will be on Tuesday, same time, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Right? So, and I want to encourage when we get to the practical aspects, I want us to maintain the same spirit of joining on time and also doing your assignments, because hard working is involved here. You cannot want to be a data analyst and you are lazy. It's not possible. You have to work, you have to research. It's very important. And like they said, practice make what? Perfect. Get different data, try and relate any concept that you have learned to different data so that you can have different view. That is what will make your library rich. Okay, so if there's no question, I want to sincerely thank you all for registering for this program and choosing Digital Z Hub. Thank you very much. All right, so okay.
Excuse me before we go.
Okay.
Do you post your video on YouTube?
Yes, we have official YouTube page. As a matter of fact, before tomorrow morning, the video will have been posted there, and the link will be dropped in that group for those that want to revisit it.
Okay.
So you can search.
Why I'm asking is actually I have seen one of your video
All right.
on YouTube.
Okay.
And can I ask if this one will be posted? Is there any way some of our videos can be a bit censored for us not to be seen? Because the one I saw online with someone you were having training with,
Okay.
he was just there, not censored at all. You know, not many persons will want to have their video online like that. Is it possible?
Yes, except it will require editing, and sometimes it takes time for us. We can actually reap only the but in a live session like this, it will look somehow impossible. What advice is that for such that is why I don't make it mandatory that you must show your face, just like the way some of you, except when you are talking. So if you are type of person that you don't want your video to be shown like that, then it means that each time you are contributing, just call your name, just mention your name and mute your video. I think that is the best way. But I feel that anybody who once you show your image like I'm showing mine now, it means I don't have issue with the video going online. So I think that is how I can.
Commonly, I have seen the tutors because I've seen several videos online. The tutors are shown, but the audience or the students can be.
Yes, you can.
So if you can find a way of censoring that, I think it will be better because earlier before when we started, you were at least you said we should open our video to be seen to introduce ourselves.
Okay.
So that's right. But it's okay. Well, subsequently,
exactly.
we'll just
So anybody
do that.
who does not want to show himself as we proceed, is whenever you want to speak, just make sure that you do not show just mention your name. Just mention your name, because it's the first time, and we are all meeting for the first time. It's not as if I'll be doing that subsequently. I needed us to see ourselves, okay, we know that too, but we can manage that going forward. It's not an issue.
Thank you.
So any other observation? All right. I think Isaias, you want to say something?
No, no.
Okay. All right. So good night, everyone. See you on.
Yeah, good night. Yeah, bye.
All right.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Right.
Good night.
Thank you.
Good night.